Hi, my name is Jonathan Bent. I'm one of Picarro's application scientists. This is a tutorial on how to remove and replace the inlet particulate filter on your Picarro analyzer. Let's start with the tools you'll need. In order to leak check after this procedure, you'll need a tank of compressed gas and a soap solution like Swagelok Snoop. For removing the lid, you'll need a 2mm hex. For the fittings on the inside, you'll need a 9/16, 5/8, and 11/16 wrench. In the case of certain analyzers, like our G2103 ammonia analyzer with Teflon filters, you'll also need a pair of pliers. You'll want to replace your particulate filter every 2 to 3 years in a laboratory setting, but if you're working in the field, especially under dusty conditions, you want to do so every few months. The particulate filter itself sits here. There is indeed a second filter on the inside of the hot box, immediately above the cavity. You should never remove this one. This is not user swappable because it needs to be replaced in a clean room. You can purchase replacement filters on our web store at store.picarro.com. But before you go there, check your manual to ensure that you're getting the right material. Some of our reactive gas species, like ammonia and formaldehyde, require a Teflon filter. The majority of our instruments, however, require the standard metal filter. Before removing the particulate filter, make sure you have your replacement on hand and make sure that the instrument is disconnected from the wall and turned off. Start by removing the 6 screws that hold the lid in place. I've removed 3 for convenience already. I strongly recommend that you put them into a small container so that you don't lose them. This is using that 2mm hex. And then carefully remove the lid and set it to the side. With the lid off, you'll see close to the inlet are 2 pieces of foam, one which covers the particulate filter and another which covers a bulkhead nut. Remove that smaller piece of foam and set it to the side. Take a 5/8 inch wrench, get it on that nut, and loosen it. Once you've started to loosen it, you should be able to use your fingers to loosen it further. Then remove the metal and foam in order to reveal the particulate filter. Use an 11/16 wrench and a 9/16 wrench. The 11/16 is going to go on the flats of the metal filter and the 9/16 on the nut. Loosen, set that aside, and then with your fingers loosen this the rest of the way. Remove the bulkhead fitting. Return the 11/16 wrench to the flats, using the 9/16 now to loosen the nut on the other side. Continue to loosen. Until you've successfully removed the filter. With the new filter, start by retightening the downstream side. Place the bulkhead fitting back in there, being careful not to cross thread, as I almost did. The procedure for replacing the Teflon version of the inlet particulate filter is the same. except that you need to use a pair of pliers instead of the 11/16 wrench. And you shouldn't tighten more than about maybe a 1/16 of a turn past finger tight once you've replaced the filter. After you've installed the new filter, make sure to leak check it. First thing to do is to pressurize the line from a tank with 2 to 3 psi of gas and put a paper towel under the filter, making sure to pull it up on this side so that none of the drops of our soap solution make their way into the instrument. You're going to use Snoop, which is made by Swagelok. Pull out the tube, invert the bottle, and make sure that there are no bubbles in the line. At that point, using 1 or 2 drips, check the fittings that you installed. You'll see here that there are bubbles being produced. That's an indication that it wasn't tightened adequately. Take the 11/16 and 9/16 wrenches and retighten. Repeat that with the other fitting here too. Once the bubbles are no longer being produced, you can remove the towel. Make sure that you wipe away any soap solution very carefully to make sure that the solution doesn't end up in the filter once the instrument is running. Now take the foam again, place that back, take your 5/8 wrench, tighten this bulkhead fitting back in. And reinstall the lid. Thanks for watching this video. As a reminder, to purchase more particulate filters or any other consumables, you can go to the web store at store.picarro.com. I'm Jonathan Bent for Picarro.